Hello, so today I'm going to talk about command and control and actions. So I'll talk about actions first, and then I'll talk about how you issue orders and control the troops. So first of all, the actions thing. So in my rules, everything's controlled by the amount of actions you can do. If you are a green unit, you can do 2 actions. If you're a regular unit, you can do 3 actions, and if you're a veteran unit, you can do 4 actions. However, you can never do any more than 2 move actions in one turn or 2 shooting actions in one turn. So, if you was issuing orders to, for argument's sake, a regular unit, so I'm going to say the Polish are regular for the purpose of this. I'm going to say these are green, just for the purpose of these, and I'm going to say that these are veteran. If I was issuing an order to the Polish to move, they can only do 2 move actions because even though they've got 3 actions they're allowed to do, only 2 of them can be used for move actions. They can move twice. The 3rd action would be used for shooting or melee, but we'll get more into that when I go into the shooting and the melee. And a veteran unit could do 4 actions, so they could do 2 move actions and 2 shooting actions. So for argument's sake, they could open fire and then reload, or they could take aim and then fire and then reload in the following turn. But they can never do, they can't fire twice because it takes 1 action to fire, 1 to reload, 1 to take aim. You don't have to take aim, but that's it. So they can't fire twice with the 2 shooting actions. They can only fire once. And then your green troops, they can only do 2 actions. So you could, for argument's sake, get them to move once and fire, or you can get them to reform, or you can get them to move twice, or you can get them to fire and reload, or take aim and fire. But that's it. They can only do them 2 actions. So that's actions. That's how they work. And as I say, different qualities of troops get different amount of actions. So basically, green troops 2 actions, regular troops 3 actions, veteran troops 4 actions. It does sound like veteran troops could be overpowered, but remember, both sides got them, so it evens out the playing field, and you don't get that many veteran troops in a battle unless it's scenario specific or it's all veterans, and then your opponent's got the same as you, so it's not a massive advantage because you're all doing the same thing. So for command and control, you've got your brigade commander, which is that guy, which is actually me, and he issues orders to your brigade. So how that works, in a mixed brigade like this, what you'd want to do is give separate orders to each unit, because if you gave, I'll talk about a brigade order. A brigade order is, he issues 1 order to the whole brigade and they all have to do exactly the same thing. Now, because he's got a green unit in there, they can only do 2 actions, which means he can only issue a brigade order that includes 2 actions. So your veteran unit would lose 2 of their actions because they couldn't use them, and your regular unit would use 1 action because he couldn't use it. So in my rules, you're better keeping your green troops in separate brigades, because then they can all do the same thing. So what you'd have here would all be regulars, for argument's sake, and we're just gonna say everyone's going to advance and shoot. So he'd do 1 test on 2d6. He'd have to get equal to or lower his own resolve value or leadership, which for most generals is 8. There are some that are 9 and 10. And he'd issue that 1 order, and if they passed, the whole brigade could do that same thing. However, if you didn't want to risk it, or you want people to do different stuff, you can order them individually. But you have to say what they're going to do before you roll any dice. So, this is a mixed brigade, green, regular, veterans. He's going to order these to form into column and march forward. He's going to order these to form into column again, because it takes 1 move action to do a reform. move forward for the second move action and open fire. Third action, which will be a shooting action. And then your Voltigeurs, he's going to order them to move forward twice and fire reload. In fact, he's going to order them to take aim and fire. It doesn't matter really. And then what we'll do is we'll test individually for each one. But they always use his resolve. So they'd test 2d6, 8 or less, 2d6, 8 or less, 2d6, 8 or less. All pass, they all move. If anyone fails, then they stood still. In fact, if you fail by 1, so like say I ordered them to reform into column and move forward, and I rolled a 9 rather than 8, they could do 1 move action or 1 action. So they could reform into column, but then that's all they could do. Everyone else passed, so they just do whatever it is they're going to be ordered to do. They'll move forward and they'll fire, etc. If you roll a double 6, then you will blunder. And there's a blunder table, but I'll go more into that when I get into the main rules a bit more. So basically, to keep it simple, you get actions, green troops 2 actions, regular troops 3 actions, veteran troops 4 actions. He's the guy that issues all the orders. Use his resolve, and if they pass, they do it, and if they don't, they're standing still. There are rerolls in my rules, so he will be able to give you some rerolls if something goes horribly wrong. And you can decide whether you want to issue a brigade order and tell everybody to do the same thing, or whether you want to order individual units. And also, to make things as flexible as possible, say them two are going to do the same. Say they're both regular, both falling in column, both marching forward, both shooting. He can give an order to both of them and then give a separate order to them. So just have to roll the 1 dice. These units have got their own leadership values or resolve values. So green troops have got a resolve of 7, regular troops resolve 8, veterans a resolve of 9. Because occasionally in the game they will have to use their own resolve value. And this will be for things like break tests in combat, or if they're out of range of the general, the brigade commander, or if they have to do things like form rally square and things like that, which I'll get more into in the movement thing. But then they have to test on their own value rather than the brigade commander or the general. So the next video I will go into movement, explain how everything moves, how they move through difficult terrain, how light troops move, how cavalry move, and then after that I will get into shooting. So I hope you enjoy this one. I hope it all makes sense. If there are any questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll be happy to try and answer them. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.